Okay, so you should hear this now. So this is a piece of music that I put together over the last few weeks. There's been so much happening. And I've called this piece Feeling Voices. Feeling Voices is a project that I was involved with. I instigated a few weeks ago, and yeah, I'll just take a few moments to listen to this. Okay, I'll just keep it on in the background. It's on for a couple of minutes. I extended this to 4 minutes for a piece of voice that I recorded, and I got really passionate about this project that I was doing a few weeks ago, and I still do. I still feel that. But that's not what this video is about. Is it looped in then? Okay. All right. So assuming you can hear me, hello everyone. I am Donna Marie, and I've been away. I've been away, not just from this channel. I've been away from myself, and what I guess this video is going to get across is the fact that I've actually always been away from myself. And I want to try and keep this as light and as bright as possible, because it is, but at the same time, it's we are all working together. You see, now as I'm talking, none of it makes any sense. So I'm going to put my music back on. Might just help me with trying to explain what I'm trying to explain here. I don't wish this journey on anyone. And it's only like, it really is only now that I can begin to understand for true, for real, for you know, I think you say I'm not pretending anymore, but you don't even realize you are pretending. You don't even know that you are your own enemy. It's like such a harsh, deep layer to break through when it's your own self that's the enemy. And none of us want to face that. None of us want to face that. And I'm starting to realize that the resistance, all of the pain and suffering that we put ourselves through, the blame, we're blaming everyone else, but actually ultimately we're blaming ourselves. We're blaming ourselves But we don't realize, we don't know that we created the story probably from way back. And we did that because we didn't make sense of it, and we didn't have anyone else to help us make sense of it. So everything else that's come on in has been layering onto the story that we created in the first place. Now, that doesn't mean that we were to blame. We created the story to protect ourselves and wrap ourselves up from the harm that was done to us. So to help us from hurting, we wrapped ourselves up with our own belief. Now, that isn't necessarily always a positive belief. You know, it might be we were believing we were bad, or that what happened to us means that we are guilty. Because there wasn't anyone there for us to talk to and understand, means that we had to make up that decision ourselves. Now, in a perfect world, someone would have sat us down and said, you know, you're not guilty. You didn't do anything wrong. That wasn't your fault. You don't carry any of that. You make sure that you take that and you give that back to them. That is theirs, not yours. But there was no one there that said that. There was no one there that said that. And it's not their fault either. It's like, as we get older, you know, if you think about it, we're still adding on to that story. You know, like, we can be adults now and like, well, wow, they did that to us. They are to blame after all. It's almost like a confirmation of that chapter, it being true from the past. Like, because look, they're still there now. You know, they may not have done anything more, anything less, but in your story, they have. And so they must be to blame because they're still there. It can be the most painful thing to face your own self as the enemy that always was. But when you can begin to recognize that it was you all along, then that means that you can change that. That means that okay, you got it wrong, and you're gonna hurt a bit over that, right? You got it wrong, but feel that joy in knowing that it was all, it wasn't real. I do believe that now, I believe, really, really believe, and I'm not, let's just say the gap is not as big now. I believe that the feeling that we have, wherever it is in our body, mine was here, mine was right here. And it was so intense. It was so intense. And I realized that this is where the pain is and was. From the very, very start was the root of this same pain. I to go on to such a journey to get here. And that's after training as a coach, working with trauma, working with people, working on myself for decades. And that's why this message is so important, because we have to collectively work together. Because what I've realized is that this energy, this intensity, this fear that's taken over me, it's love. It's love. It always was. And that is why it's so fierce and powerful. We have to change what we think we believe and remember where the story came from in the first place. We didn't do anything wrong. We just protected ourselves with a story. But now we can let that go.